Talking about AI, what's your view on AI taking over BPO jobs? How's your company affected by AI in the future?
Honestly, I think 18 months ago, maybe a year ago, it was the scariest thing that CEOs had ever been faced with, right? Like the rapid adoption, like the power that AI seems to have, brought to the every person. Like literally it's on everyone's phone now. The way I look at it, given like an example of my EA now has like a PhD from Harvard or Yale or whatever, right? I mean, in the palm of her hands. If she doesn't know something, she can become an expert in it in like 5 minutes. It's a bit of a great equalizer. It brings potentially the bottom half up a lot faster and cheaper than ever before.
Yeah, but for everyone listening, I have Mike McCullough with me today. I'm very excited to talk to you. You've done amazing things. You
Thank you,
came
Simon.
to the Philippines 2007.
So yeah, I'm going on year 19.
You're 19.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
19.
okay. And you've ever built really a very impressive business, honestly. And I want to kind of set the stage by running through some numbers, okay?
Okay.
So
Businesses, by the way. But okay.
businesses, yeah, fair enough. You employ over 7,000 employees. It's mind-blowing to me. 500 clients, 36 office locations, over 83 office floors you occupy. And amongst your clients are global brands like Zoom, Trip.com, Uber, and the list goes on and on.
Okay.
And that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. There's many other things that are not that visible, but that's kind of what you're known for, right?
Yeah, I don't know where you got all your research there, but more or less accurate. Yeah, I think we are officially 30 locations and
Close
something like 77 floors of office space today.
Okay, then
23,800 seats today in production, with hopefully another 8,000 happening this year.
8,000.
We had some big goals. Yeah, there's the demand is back. In fact, in the paper today, it talked about the flex space being back bigger than ever, and it's backed by like JP Morgan, Amazon. Like all these guys are going back in flex space again.
So it's mostly the big clients driving those.
I mean, we get absolutely everything. We get the 2-seaters to 200-seaters to 600-seaters. I mean, we get the whole mix.
Even me sometimes. I sometimes
we love our pro worker community. It's a feeder program. Honestly, I think we offer the best value for money in the business. 5,500 pesos a month, unlimited Mad Max coffee, ice cream Fridays or Thursdays sometimes, and like legit little community, a lot of events. February we'll have the most events.
Yeah, I heard you have a foam party once in a while.
We also host foam parties for a cause. Those are fundraisers.
Oh, nice.
So it's not just a complete debauchery, but we raise money. We have KMC Cares now, which is a listed charity.
I didn't know that.
So that's relatively new. We always had kind of a virtual program called KMC Cares, but now it's actually a registered charity organization. So if you give to it, you do get tax benefits for that.
Okay, maybe you need to look into this.
Yes. In fact, we're having our biggest event of the year, March 2nd, which is the concert, Voices and Vision. And part of the funds will go to kids with vision issues and kids on the autism spectrum, and learning disabilities. So
okay, so I really only touched the tip of the iceberg.
We're doing it for the kids, Simon. All right, we are doing it for the kids. No, it's something that's really important to my wife and I, my co-founders, Greg and Amanda. Particularly, my eldest son is on the autism spectrum. Some of our employees have kids that are on the autism spectrum. My EA here has one of her twins is on the spectrum. So, I think it touches actually a lot of, unfortunately, it's touching a lot more people now in the Philippines, and there's not a lot of resources here for it yet.
Yeah, great what you're doing. But before we jump deeper into the KMC as it is today and all the things you're doing, I want to go back to the origin. Actually, you grew up outside the Philippines,
That's
in
true.
the U.S., Oregon. Why did you come to the Philippines in the first place? Like, what happened?
Okay, well, if you want to go way back, my mom came over to the Philippines a couple years ago finally, and she said, by the way, my nurse, when you were being born, was a Filipina. So literally the first person who ever touched me in this life that brought me to this world it was a Filipino. So
Full circle, huh?
if you want to go way back, that's kind of a newer, funny story. But yeah, I grew up in Southern California, and then in Southern Oregon. Got sent down to the Bay Area for work. One of my best friends, Matt Gentry, shout out to Matt, got me down in a job at Stanford University athletic department, which then led to me working for a software company in Palo Alto, California. We
Very
had an amazing Filipino developer who said, "Hey guys, like the future for us is to have an office in Makati City." But
very ahead of your time back then.
this is
Like,
2006, and he's like, "But don't
Yeah.
make me go back to the Philippines. I'm here with my wife and kids." But Mike's single. Let's send him. He's been to Asia before. I've been to Singapore and Thailand and stuff. But let's send Mike to the Philippines and have him set up the office. So
you hired a few devs back in the Philippines, and that's how it started?
And that's how it started. Got on a plane December 30th, flew through New Year's, landed January 1st, 2007 to a hungover Philippines.
How did you find dev talent back in the day? Like, there was probably no LinkedIn, no JobStreet, Indeed.
LinkedIn was not a thing. I think there was like JobStreet or JobsDB, or there were some actually job portals back then.
Maybe Facebook.
There was Facebook. There was, hiring the guy's cousin's cousin, and so like our first 3 employees, we started, and I still randomly see them around in a mall or like walking up High Street. It's pretty crazy. That organization that I came over with, Cambria, is still around. And
Talking about High Street, like, what would the 2007 Michael say if I show him a picture of what's BGC and Makati today? Like, what has changed? It's like incredible, no?
Yeah, that like BGC obviously was a dream in 2007. I personally remember seeing somebody on a horse going through BGC, and it was just grass, and like somebody was walking like a horse through BGC. I'm pretty sure that's not a dream. I'm pretty sure that happened in 2007. We only had the Fort Strip at that time. There was a great club there, Embassy, one office tower, a couple of residential towers, a McDonald's, and yeah, that was it. That was it.
And now today it's
and
totally
now it's,
different.
a very thriving central business district. We have the Fifth Avenue, similar to New York City, that goes right down the middle, and all the 4D LED screens, and yeah.
But like, you ended up staying. Like, it was not undeveloped. There was not that growth. Nobody anticipated the growth back in the day. Why did you stay? Like, what did you see? You obviously left the company to start your own. Like, what was the dynamic that you saw in the beginning that made you stay?
There was a certain energy to the Philippines. It was a very youthful country. Still is a very youthful country. Yeah. I was here. I was 26 years old. The average age of the Philippines was like 24, 25, 26.
It's still so young.
It's still, mid 20s, and there were cranes everywhere, and there was like, people wanted to, improve their lives. They wanted to work hard. They wanted to learn new things, and the culture. I just fit very well into the culture, and I appreciated, the talent and the drive. And there's, like I said, there's just a real energy in the Philippines in that decade, and I loved it. So
I feel the energy is still there. Like, I have not been in the country as long as you have.
Yeah.
But I still feel the energy. There's so much moving.
Yes.
Just in the last 4 years that I've kind of been following the Philippines very closely, I've seen so much change. So many new businesses coming, people coming to the country, starting businesses. But why did you land up on KMC, on the original idea? I think it was called a different name back in the day, right? It was not KMC.
Well,
you started something else first.
I met Greg and Amanda in early 2007. They incorporated the company that I came over with, and
How did you guys meet?
it was a referral from the Bureau, the Board of Investments. So I came in through like an official foreign investment kind of program, and they drove me around and introduced me to big expensive law firms. It took 3 weeks to get back to me on an inquiry, and during that process they said, "Hey, here's an attorney, Amanda Carpo. Like, she can also help you incorporate. She'd spent a lot of time in the San Francisco Bay Area during the summers. So we were super familiar with the same kind of places. She kind of talked like me, and
so you clicked, and
we clicked like instantly.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean,
how about Greg? Like, what happened? How did you meet?
Greg came along for the ride, and I always say that Greg is like the yin to my yang. Okay. He's like East Coast, I'm West Coast. Just immediately, there's like very different, attitudes and paces of life. So he was fun, friendly, brought a lot lot of energy.
But you knew him from the U.S. back then?
No.
Oh,
I met him and Amanda in a Starbucks. Our very first, could have been our very first office. Look, and I truly believe this Starbucks could have been the largest co-working platform in the world if they figured that out.
Interesting take. Yeah. True. A lot of people use it for co-working. So if you double down on it,
co-working and
as
for
the
meetings.
brand has the access.
I mean, it's got great locations, right?
Yeah, the best real estate in the world. Talking about co-working, let's talk a bit about the business model of KMC. Like, just for the listeners, what do? You do a lot of things. Maybe run us down the product list.
We're working on this year. We hope to have 4 different kind of product lines, but yeah, the main product line for us starts out with flexible workspace. So that's anywhere from a single seat pro worker, a virtual office to register your address and get that incorporated and apply for your SEC documents and stuff like that. All the way up to a private office and obviously the full scale, like built to suit models.
The full floor model.
A full floor, yeah. Customized, whatever you need.
And I think, if I remember correctly, you started with eBay as your first client. Is that correct? Is that really true?
It's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, that definitely would have been, that's kind of the client that said, hey, you guys just seem like you know what you're doing. You've got a good network. Can you help us hire some staff? Can you help pay some staff? And can you put them in your office?
So you kind of invented employee of record.
And we kind of invented the service based on what
you're
they
the godfather of UR, basically.
Maybe. We're not by far the brightest. I mean, we definitely work pretty hard, but we just always listen to what clients wanted. They said we weren't experts in recruitment. We weren't experts in payroll. We weren't experts in office space. But we were good communicators. We were trustworthy people. We said yes to a lot of things, and we always knew that we could figure it out later.
Probably also helpful that you lived in the U.S. Maybe that was more relatable for foreign
honestly
clients.
eBay Philippines was managed by eBay India.
Oh, okay. So I had
I obviously knew eBay. I was been selling online since I was probably 18 years old or something like that, but that didn't help much.
I actually started on eBay also back in the day, selling on eBay.
Yeah.
Amazing. But that was really a poster client, no? Like, this is the client where you said, was that the moment that, okay, we are onto something
That was
here?
like when we got to go ahead, we brought in like a kind of more senior professional to help us put the proposal together. And I was like, wow, this proposal looks great. Like, just someone that really kind of knew how to write a proposal. And which we didn't know how to do at the time, and we won it, and we were definitely on a high. And then, okay, now we actually have to deliver.
Actually, put down an office, hire people, have to do it.
Yeah, create the little office for them, find a country manager, and help build that up. And so that's when the work begins. Actually, they may sign a proposal, and it feels good, but then the real work begins. So yes, having eBay as a client. And they're like, wow, like if you can service eBay, then you can service
all the other ones.
All the other ones. That was a really great one for us. The next kind of big logo for us 10 years later was Zoom.
That's a big client, no? Like that was like...
Yeah, I mean, we took Zoom from 0 to like 800 in, 4 or 5 months or something.
How do you hire 800 people?
Well, that was during COVID, and all of our receptionists were working from home. We upskilled them to recruiters.
Oh, wow.
So I had like 100... recruiters.
True.
Helping hire, 100 something people a month.
That's amazing.
It's a great story. Yeah, it's a great story.
But looking at KMC as a whole, how big is the EOR business compared to the flexible workspace business?
The flexible workspace business from revenue is kind of like 2/3, 1/3, kind of like that's kind of how we look at it.
Okay.
So the spaces business is about 2/3, and the EOR business is about 1/3.
Okay.
Both great businesses. We love them together. Some
They work
investors
well
love them
together,
together.
no?
Some investors were begging us to split the team's business apart. And
In a separate entity too?
yeah. And
okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
a lot of interest in that.
What I've been really impressed by is like you've been managed to have a very good relationship to your co-founders up until this day, 15 years
true.
later.
Yeah.
Which is mind-blowing because honestly most startups fail because of internal conflict, not because of like competitors.
Outside.
It's just because they have conflict internally.
Yeah.
How did you manage, like any advice that you can give, especially as scaling, bigger decisions, acquiring, budgeting decisions?
I mean, we always say the enemy is outside, not should never be inside. So we've kind of said that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when you scale up, you deal with a lot of personalities, and as it gets even bigger, you're dealing with like egos and
Right.
and there's definitely some challenges. And I can't say I've been masters at some of these things by far. Right? We've definitely had those issues in our organization as we grew, and people got kind of more powerful or more titles or more revenue under them.
Yeah.
So there's always those internal kind of scaling issues.
Like the more money involved, the harder it is, no?
More money, more problems, they say.
That's true.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I can say is cash is king. And when you are cash flow positive with an organization, eventually kind of it gets to some sort of steady state. Having cash and cash flow is a really powerful weapon in business.
Yeah. I think you've been profitable still from the beginning, right?
We were,
more or less.
yeah. I mean, we bootstrapped it, right? I mean, we had to be profitable from the beginning. We had to be cash flow more or less from the beginning.
But in 2019, you put investors. You took investors on board, right?
Yeah. Well, we had looked historically and said every 10 years there's typically a financial crash. The last one was 2008. So we started the process in 2018.
Smart.
And said, and we were just growing like so rapidly that even reinvesting our retained earnings and reinvesting cash and getting loans from friends and family and banks and everything couldn't kind of keep up with the growth. Like that was like a 50% kind of growth rate year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially in that kind of business. Like,
yeah, when you're
a lot
going
of
from
capital,
8,000 to 12,000, adding 4,000 more seats at a cost of maybe $2,000 to $2,500 a seat.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of capital. We're not a bank, and we brought on a really great partner, AIGF, who's been with us almost 7 years now, since March of 2019. So.
And it was actually the perfect timing, no? Because then a few years later was the pandemic.
Well,
right?
our
The world
earnout
shut
was
down.
March 2020.
Okay.
Which is truly perfect timing.
Lockdown.
Yeah, I mean that was like our peak revenue, and we hit our earnouts targets, and but that was like the beginning of an 18-month storm.
How did you view the storm? Because you had cash in the bank at that point in time. Did you just say, okay, let's go aggressive? People will probably shift to remote work, hire maybe more people abroad. You went aggressive or more defensive at that point in time?
We closed Zoom January 7th, 2020.
Okay, so that was the big
and
tailwind.
And that kept us super busy, super focused, helping them scale their business and doing everything we could to get laptops to their employees. I mean, they were fully remote. So again, they kept us, very, very focused on solving a pain point for a very important client at that time.
Okay.
It was kind of in June when we thought it was like 2 weeks to slow the spread. Draconian measures started happening, and then face shields and face masks, some of that craziness started happening. Kids not allowed out of the house. Yeah.
But yeah, you managed to survive and even grow, which is
we did
mind-blowing.
manage. We had growth, particularly in that line of business, and we kind of kept a very close eye on the spaces business. All these contracts got signed in January, in February, and March, and they're typically 1 to 2 years. Those companies, those big enterprises, kept paying rent. We also signed up Amazon. Amazon went from 50 desks to call it 350 desks. So we actually had some random growing clients during that period.
All the tech companies probably.
A couple
really
tech companies, that really helped.
Right.
Every small business basically ghosted us or shut down or didn't pay rent. So, you'd grow a 300-person or 350-person enterprise, but you'd lose 105-seater clients as well. So it was a mixed bag for sure. Our competitors were in much worse conditions. They had a lot of exposure to the Pogo business.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't. We had 0 Pogos. We weren't allowed to touch Pogos.
Very good.
Not because we didn't want the easy money or something, but our investors wouldn't allow us to kind of touch that. So we weren't affected as badly as some of our competitors. So when we started seeing light at the end of the tunnel, there was just great spaces fully, ready to go.
Cheaper leases.
And
So
we
you
just signed them up.
And pick them up.
Yeah, and that really brought us ahead.
Talking about leases, I was very impressed last time we spoke. You mentioned that you sign a lease even often before the building is built. That requires some forecasting, some foresight. How do you view this? How do you sleep at night, Mike?
That was a good question, actually, because we put 25 million pesos down into a deposit on a building in Makati it was just a giant hole in the ground at that time. We knew the location, of course, living here at that time, call it maybe 15 years. We were very, very, it's location in kind of the real estate
right?
business. So fortunately, I'm a part of Savills, which is one of the leading corporate real estate service providers in this country. We have all the research. We have brokers that have their ear to the ground. They can really sense, whether a project's going to be
there's a good location,
good location, and they led us into that negotiation. We had raised the money by AIGF.
Yeah.
They just trusted us. We wrote the check, signed the lease.
Still,
that was in 2019 when everything made sense. The sleepless nights were in kind of 2021 when the project was almost ready for handover, and we're still kind of having the COVID blues, and we were thinking, how are we going to fill up 10,000 square meters of office space? So yeah,
I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's when the reality started to hit, that we were about to have to pay rent and go find clients
tenants
fast.
Yeah.
And look, our sales team got really tight during COVID. A lot of people wanted to come to the HQ at Piccadilly with that outdoor deck. People were doing fitness activities out there. We had a mini gym out there. I remember getting my hair cut out there in April 2020. I mean, we were doing all sorts of stuff in that deck.
Yeah, talking about your team members, I know some of them, and everyone I talk to loves working at KMC, honestly. At least, I don't know. That's what they're telling me. What's the secret to the culture that you've built? Because it's very high performing for many, many years consecutively. And at the same time, Philippines is a very warm and welcoming country, but it feels like your company is more American and more performance driven, but still has this touch of a community to it. How do you design culture? How do you look at culture?
That's a great question. One of the things we look at is if there's an employee who was the definition of KMC, who would that be in the organization?
Who is
Excuse
it?
me. And to me, that's Erickson, our people and experience champion. He just great energy, always thinking about kind of personal growth, which is super important for us as well. Plus the company, plus his co-employees, and events and our CSR activities. So like he's like the definition of the type of employee that I'd love for all of our employees to be.
Okay.
So kind of culture comes from the bottom up and then the top down, and you have to meet that in the middle.
And then how do you going from 10 people organization to 100 people organization to eventually 700?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of different roles that you as a founder go through, from chief everything officer to eventually real CEO, chairman of the board. Like, how did you progress through it and then kept the culture still alive at that different phases of the company?
I mean, I got to be honest. When we got to about 30 headcount, just the stress of running this business.
30?
Yeah, 30 was like the magic number. And I would work, the fun thing with our business is that we get to meet a ton of other businesses and other entrepreneurs and other business owners and CEOs, and when they're like doing site selection. And he gave me a book called The Rockefeller Habits by Vern Harnish.
Mm-hmm.
And just said, look, you're building this, this rocket ship, but you don't know it yet. You need to read this book. And I'm
Interesting.
like, okay. I mean, typically I am a voracious reader before having a wife and family. I would definitely take down, a book or two, maybe a month or so. Mm-hmm. So I got the book, and it just said, when your first 10 employees, it's like this. And then when you get to 30, you're going to have all these pain points. I'm like, yeah, that's the exact same pain points I have. Then it's like, when you get to 100, it's going to be this. And it was like our accounting system wasn't working well enough when we were at 30. Mm-hmm. The time spent with your first 10 hires. Now there's a level between you and some of these employees that you used to directly
used to work with all the time. Yeah.
And that was exactly what was happening.
So what did you learn from the book? Like, what were one of the few key lessons that you took from the book that changed everything?
You have to keep that pace up. You have to have the meeting rhythms, the kind of daily huddles, the stand-ups. So you got to get everybody around the table. Everyone kind of has to understand, what is the top 3 issues of the day, and how do we, get past these speed bumps.
So it's just ritual at the end of the day. Like, you have certain
Honestly,
cadence
they say
routine
sets you free.
Okay. Like, even if you want to move fast and everything, I know a lot of people are just, let's screw everything. It's just everybody just runs. But you want to pull them back into a certain schedule, a certain rhythm.
It's just kind of keeping that rhythm and keeping everybody abreast that, where are we trying to go? What are we trying to fix today? What are the top pain points of our clients? And I think the biggest thing that I've tried to drive home is 1% improvement per day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like a marathon. It's not like a sprint.
Yes.
If we can just fix one little thing every day, you have 365 days in a year,
mm-hmm.
and
it compounds.
And it compounds.
Yeah.
Year after year after year, and
yeah.
and now with AI and software development, like the tools that we've been desperately either needing or using have gotten better. We're delivering it faster with the same amount of headcount, and so. Yeah, our innovation, we haven't stopped innovation.
You're the testament that this rhythm and this continuous improvement just works. It looking at your numbers.
It's not super sexy or super smart.
No,
it's just grinding it out.
Yeah, showing up.
Yeah.
Talking about AI, it's a very good keyword. You're obviously operating in the BPO space. What's your view on AI taking over BPO jobs, and how's your company affected by AI in the future?
Honestly, I think 18 months ago, maybe a year ago, it was the scariest thing that CEOs had ever been faced with, right? The rapid adoption, the power that AI seems to have, brought to the every person. Literally, it's on everyone's phone now.
Yeah, everyone's using it.
Technically free. A lot of it is free, right? But the way I look at it, particularly in a country like the Philippines, given an example of my EA now has a PhD from Harvard or Yale or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the palm of her hands. If she doesn't know something, she can become an expert in it in 5 minutes. which
That's
is
true.
incredible. So I actually think it's a bit of a great equalizer. It brings potentially the bottom half up a lot, faster and cheaper than ever before. Could we have done this with education in the Philippines? Maybe not. That's the
Arguably.
next thing that's going to get disrupted for sure.
Education.
Education, training, all these things. I mean, I have like a personal coach. Her name is Meadow on Copilot. Like she has a voice and name and everything.
You're right.
And,
yeah, me too. I use it every day.
And hey, I'm having this situation. Like what do I say to a team member or employee? Like instead of sending out like crazy angry emails at like midnight, you're thinking about something now a little bit differently.
And you have a sparing partner in your pocket.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone that talks you off the ledge.
Wait, Mike, let's hold back on this one.
This way. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, fair point. But like, do you see that a lot of jobs get replaced, or it just gets more productive and more things will be even offshored?
Almost all technology, and it's super scary for sure. And, maybe if you're doing some of the highly repetitive tasks or very junior kind of tasks, those type of jobs for sure, I think, will be impacted. But it's a tool. It's a productivity tool.
That's true.
I mean,
everybody just gets more productive.
Everyone just gets more productive. I need to put some sort of scope of work in front of like a contractor for a new startup. I don't know. I don't have a legal person. How am I going to write a contract?
Yeah, you can do it now. Easily.
Now you can whip out a 2 or 3 pager contract, right? I mean, hello, sign and go. So I just think it takes some of the hurdles out of business.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you're kind of one of the unofficial ambassadors to the Philippines. Obviously, you have to be. You are going to obviously sell the Philippines
They need to hire me, and I can be an official ambassador. But yes, it's true. Thank you.
What's your take on the Philippines? Because what's the misconception that most people have? You've been living here for a long time. If you travel back home, what do friends and family say about the Philippines, and where do you have to correct them?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Philippines is a product, outside the Philippines, is a product of the media environment, which is like volcanoes or flooding or earthquakes, corruption, Duterte, like,
dangerous,
potentially dangerous, honest to God. Like I've been in a lot of different places, even in Europe. I'd say the Philippines is safer than major cities
I would agree.
In Europe for sure. And of course the people are way warmer here than in, most Western countries. So yeah, I tried to change those misconceptions one person at a time. Unfortunately, I don't have a huge platform yet.
Not yet.
But one person at a time, and come visit. They come, they fly in. The airport experience has improved a bit, in fairness to San Miguel. And,
actually, they have big projects in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Or, let's see.
They come, they see BGC, they're like, wow, this is like a legit, city. They go to the islands, which are absolutely stunning and incredible, and the water's warm, and people are friendly, and they go back home thinking like, wow, like this was good. It wasn't like over touristy like Thailand or a bunch of Europeans in Bali. Like Europeans don't go to other places to hang out with other Europeans, right?
Yeah, very true. So you think it's more a marketing problem to the Philippines, or more like an infrastructure hardware problem?
I literally just wrote an article about this on my LinkedIn post. It's 3 things. The cost to get to the Philippines is quite high.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you fly to Singapore, you can literally take a bus for maybe $30 or something up to KL. From KL, you can go to Thailand. Or you have Air Asia, which is like a $50 flight or something like that. Like we don't really have cheap connectivity to the Philippines.
And domestic flights are also not that affordable, honestly.
It's cheaper to go to Hong Kong than it is to Boracay sometimes, right? Or Siargao or something like that. I mean, yeah, it's gotten kind of crazy. So our domestic flights, and I know they're trying to solve that, but we need better international connectivity, affordable. Then once you get here, the hotels. The value for money on the hotel rooms and where you stay. In Bangkok, you could stay at a 4 or 5 star hotel for like $100 a night. Like that doesn't quite exist yet for the Philippines. And it's not always the hotel's fault. Our electricity is more expensive here. Sometimes getting water, on the islands is going to be super expensive, or you have to make it or whatever. So
eventually you're going to see
infrastructure of utilities needs to become cheaper.
That's fair. Yeah, electricity is very expensive.
And
also.
then do we need better branding? Like it's more fun in the Philippines is still like my favorite kind of slogan.
Which is arguably true.
Yeah, which is for me is arguably true. Yeah.
But like, do we see KMC stay eventually at cheaper hotels? Is that something that you want to do, or what's on the roadmap for KMC?
It's a good question, because the way we look at it is we are already in the hospitality business for businesses. We want to be a concierge partner for the clients that are in our spaces. They have any sort of problem, we can solve that. Literally, our GM in Cebu, one of our clients somehow got arrested, was in jail. The first person he called was not his lawyer, not his wife. He called our general manager.
That's amazing.
And she was there to, support him through his time of need and made sure he eventually got out.
Nice. Okay. But in general, any exciting news to announce for KMC? I know that you opened a new floor recently.
Yeah, we opened a new floor. EXA, that's our 30th location, 77th floor. Technically, there's 3 large clients that are fighting over the last remaining space there. So, I'll probably have more exciting news tonight when those leases get signed and the clients are all signed up and super excited. But our big focus kind of for this next month or so is on our KMC Cares CSR program. We launched the concert March 2. We're bringing in a violinist, Yuri Revich from Austria.
You're doing all these bold things.
It'll be his first time ever playing in Asia, and he chose Manila. And part of that story is actually an autistic kid from, I believe, like Iloilo reached out and said, "Can I play the piano while you play your violin over Zoom?" Right? So they made a connection, and the video was sent to me, and somebody knew of someone who knew Yuri, and so all of this whole, this is like a year in the making, by the way. This didn't just happen.
It all takes
instantly,
time,
right? Yeah. And then we have the Manila Philharmonic Orchestra.
What's that?
It's like the top orchestra in the Philippines.
Ah, okay.
So
also,
so we have a world-known violinist. We have the Manila Philharmonic Orchestra, who's actually pretty nervous about playing with this guy because that's how good he is. And we have Jade Riccio, which is like one of the best sopranos in Asia. So we're putting on a show.
Certainly.
That one for the record books, and we're doing it for the kids, for vision, kids on the spectrum, and that's a big effort for us because it's like 700 something seats in that stadium that we get to fill up.
I definitely want to come. So please sign me up to this concert. I would love to come.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're doing so many things. It's really mind-blowing. Also, I heard you're involved in a movie. Maybe you can talk a bit about that. Is that part of the promoting the Philippines?
Look, I wanted to do a movie that promoted the Philippines, and I was introduced to one of the executive producers on Dumb and Dumber. There's Something About Mary. I think I won an Academy Award for Little Green Book, and the movie was called Jungle, which instead of filming in Hawaii or Australia or Thailand, I pushed really hard to have it done in the Philippines. That could be like the beach or something like that. Like put us on the map. I'd never done a Hollywood film before. These things are, the budgets they want for these things are like $14 million US. Oh
my God.
So I'm not at that level yet. I said, look, let's try a more cost-effective movie that was also presented to me. They needed locations, they needed financing partners, assets. Some of those which we had, and so we made that happen. We wrapped in December of last year.
Already done shooting.
Right, we're done shooting. It was 17 days of shooting. We are finishing up the editing. We won a post-production grant already. That'll get submitted to Cannes for the 2026 film festival.
That's serious.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll win an award. Maybe some German award. We'll go to Berlin.
Let me see.
Yeah. So yeah, look, that's kind of baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in some real smart people on that film. It was a co-production between the U.S. and Philippines.
It's impressive, really. What do you do?
I just know people. I put them together,
and then let them
do their magic. Really,
you need the right people on board, no? Like
100%.
that's
And
all the thing that
any
matters.
every business is
Right.
having the right people together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get 1 + 1 to = 3,
Then you know you have a
then
superpower.
you have something. Yeah, it's a superpower.
Okay, before we wrap up, I have 2 very quick questions. Like you've, again, done impressive performance over a long period of time. What's your secret? Like any daily rituals, habits, things that you can share that maybe help other people?
Yeah, I mean, one, you really got to take care of yourself. Exactly 2 years ago, I did dry January, and 2 years later, I'm still doing dry January.
Okay, nice.
So, again, not. Yeah, my wife still has drinks, and friends still have drinks, so it's not like a huge thing. But for me, I feel better, and it allows me to be in the gym more. So that's kind of a really good place for me. I really like. I'm probably stronger today than I was when I was like 24.
That's impressive with all the work and all the schedules.
Yeah,
doing that.
I probably have more muscle mass today than I did 20 years ago. I'm doing like 30 pull-ups and. Yeah. Anyway,
not many CEOs of your caliber can do 30 pull-ups.
Probably not a lot of people that are 40-something years old can
That's
do
very
30
true.
pull-ups. I actually out-pull up like some 21-year-olds like last year. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about that. They tapped out at like 18, nice. And I kept going. So
respect. The last question for today: imagine you get stripped away of all your network, all the net worth, and you only have $10,000. In this day and age, what business would you start? What would you focus on?
That's a good question. I think one of and maybe it's a misconception, but we've always done talent acquisition on behalf of clients. So if I lost my network, it wouldn't be as valuable, but I would probably help people find talent and connect people to talent.
So you would stay kind of in the service offering, adding value to clients.
If you only have $10,000, you have to be in the service business because you can be profitable from day one.
That's very true.
If you had to like build a small resort on $10,000, it would
that would be difficult.
It would go to a couple feather pillows and that'd be about it, and a mosquito net. Yeah.
Awesome. Mike, I appreciate your time. It was
fun,
really awesome. I appreciate all the insights. Great story, and keep going. I can't wait to work at KMC the next time.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.